G'day, how's it going? Well, today I'm going to go through my top 10 tools that you need to scrap. Scrapping can be a really enjoyable pastime, a hobby. You could even make a career out of it, and it's relatively low cost. In fact, it actually can make you money, which is very rare for a hobby. It normally costs you a fortune, but in this case, scrapping is fun and can earn you some dollars as well. Saying that though, it does help if you have the right tools, like in anything. So let's get stuck in to the top 10 tools you need when you scrap. In number 10, you need a vehicle. Obviously it makes sense, the bigger the vehicle, the more stuff you can fit in. So a truck and trailer, a ute, a van, even a station wagon. These are all good things or good vehicles for scrapping. Saying that though, just because you don't have a truck, you've only got a sedan or a hatchback, you can of course still scrap. It just means that you can't take as much stuff in one hit. Coming in at number 9, it's a vise. Comes in handy because you can always do with an extra set of hands. Sometimes you need to place an item in there, grind, or hit it with a hammer, and you just need something solid really to grab hold of it, just to sort of yank something out. Say you're pulling out copper windings, or you need a tight grip as you're cutting through copper pipe. So a vise, number 9, get yourself a vise. Number 8. In number 8 is the scrapper's best friend, a magnet. You use this to see if something is either steel, maybe stainless steel, aluminium, copper, brass. If it sticks, it's steel. If it doesn't stick, well, it's one of the other better options of copper or brass or so forth. So always carry a magnet with you. Of course, as you get more experience, you tend to be able to pick out what metals are what without even using a magnet. But saying that, always carry a magnet, comes in handy. Number 7, a set of sockets and or spanners. Now you're going to be pulling a lot of things apart when you're scrapping, and you can't go past a decent set of sockets. I have a 1/2 inch set here, some extending bars and so forth. That's all I use, and that seems to cover most of what I need or come across. So yeah, get yourself some sockets. Coming in at number 6 is storage. Containers, buckets, bags, you name it, you need it. Let's go check out what I use. This is how I store my scrap. I have shred, copper, aluminium, motors, circuit boards, PVC covered cable, and that covers most of it. I have a small buckets there for lead, stainless steel. Over here I've got some brass in a brass container. Get yourself some containers to store and to separate all the different items that you plan on scrapping. Coming in at my number 5 spot is an angle grinder. Now I use this bad boy a lot. Sometimes parts are rusty or they're just too hard to open up, so I get the grinder in, cut it all up, or even to just put it into smaller, more manageable pieces. So get yourself a grinder, cordless or corded, doesn't really matter. Just get yourself one. You'll use it a lot and it'll come in handy. Time for number 4. Number 4 is probably one of the funnest tools to use. It's a quick and easy way of pulling things apart. It's a hammer. Sometimes it's just too hard to get apart. The only solution is a hammer, especially when you're dealing with plastic parts as well. Why unscrew things when you can just bash it with a hammer. So yeah, get plenty of hammers. When you start pulling apart items that you found scrapping, you're definitely going to need a screwdriver. Some items you just find that you're forever undoing screws. Literally there can be 100 screws in one item. So flathead, Phillips head. Even easier, grab yourself a drill driver, pop a little screwdriver bit in there, and away you go. It's very quick and easy, and it'll save a lot of time and a lot of hard work using one of these. All right, we're getting to the pointy end of the list now. Coming in at number 2. A wire cutter. So as you collect your PVC cables, quite often you can earn more money. It's more profitable to cut the wire and actually take the copper out. And you can do it by hand using a knife, or you can get a relatively cheap copper cutter, PVC cutter like this. Simply goes in one of these holes here, pop a drill on the end there, comes through, Bob's your uncle, you've got nice clean number 1 copper. For 50 bucks you can get one of these off eBay, so I highly recommend you do it, and you will be saving yourself a ton of time, and you will make yourself a ton of money too. Alright, we've come to the number 1 spot. The number 1 tool I recommend for scrapping. Now, if you haven't already, please subscribe and press that like button too. I really appreciate it. I've noticed that around 83% of people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. Hey, that's okay if you don't want to, but if you are getting a little bit of enjoyment or some value out of it, consider subscribing. Okay, enough of the whole please subscribe sort of thing. Let's get to number 1, and it is, drum roll, wire cutters. Relatively cheap, but you will be using these all the time when you're street scrapping. Some things are not worth taking, but the cable is. Just cut the cable, take it away. As you're pulling things apart, there are going to be cables inside, outside. Cut it, take it away. If you're going on a trip out somewhere, you go into the shops, let's say, and you're not really there to do any scrapping, but you go past, you see a vacuum cleaner. Now, I'm not a big fan of just cutting cables, but some people are. So come along, just cut the cable, take it away. If that's what you're into, that's great. You do that, you do you. Take it when you're walking the dog. You never know. There's always stuff out, and you can always cut that cable, take it away home. Quick and easy and light, and somewhere where you can just take everywhere you go. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed my top 10 scrap tool essentials. You may agree with me, you may not. Hey, that's alright. Please leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of my list. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Cheers. Bye.